All right, everyone, let's do this. All right. Hey, everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. Hope you're doing well. Got a great story from a subscriber, William. I want to talk about it because it's important to talk about it. It's about the housing market. It's about Lenar. Lenar is having a hard time selling homes. Let me adjust this. Let's make sure that we're all on a level playing field, except for this bad boy. Holy cow, Quanto is just angry. All right, here we go. This story comes out of Queen Creek Times. It's entitled Lenar Launches Unique Approach to Affordable Home Building for New Buyers. Now, Lenar is one of the largest home builders in the country. I did a video a while back from, a secret recording was sent to me from one of the contractors for Lenar, one of the big contractors. It was a group conference call where they were asking people to please, like they were saying, please, they're contractors, let's lower our prices. And if you lower our prices for us, we promise we will not take those prices and abuse them. We won't keep the profit. We'll pass it down to the buyer. Now, I've been looking at a lot of real estate lately. I'm always looking at real estate, and new homes are getting hit so bad. The reason why they're getting hit so bad is because the inventory is becoming more and more every day. There's only a certain pool of buyers and the prices are still elevated. But across the board on new homes in the areas that I'm looking, we're seeing 10% reductions across the board. Now, this story goes on to say, Lenar Home Builders has announced the unveiling of its premier home series in the Phoenix market. Phoenix is being decimated right now. But remember, they were one of the biggest balloons and the first to blow up. So of course, they're going to be one of the first to pop. Opening in neighborhoods across the valley, including Queen Creek, Santan Valley, and Florence as a solution to home affordability. Now, I haven't read this article yet, but just so you know what they're doing is they're making the houses smaller, they're building them cheaper, they're putting less stuff in them. That's really what they're doing. And they're trying to appease the buyer, all right? But if the buyers would just sit back and wait a little bit, there's going to be a lot of benefits. Now, it says here, when real estate and new home prices across Arizona were the fastest rising in the country, Lenar said it was looking for a new approach that could provide affordable homes for buyers. The result is Premier Homes, a unique collaboration between Lenar and its many business partners that creates a lower monthly payment option that allows first-time home buyers to purchase a new home or a home rather than rent. The partnership includes mortgage lenders, trade partners, and real estate agents. Okay, this surprises me. This went in a different direction for me, but I'm pretty sure I'll still be right. But they're wanting to coerce, attract, that's the best word, people that have never owned a home before. Why? Because they have less education built up inside of them when it comes to real estate markets and how to buy homes, how to sell homes, all of that stuff. And so they're going to feed on that weakness. And it is a weakness. That's what I've been trying to teach people. But quite frankly, one thing I've been trying to teach is you could put all out the free information you want and people get nothing from it. The second they pay something, boy, oh boy, they are diving in and they are committing. And that's what is happening right now. Now, they go on to say, by working together to find ways to cut costs and reduce expenses. There we go, I nailed it. Okay, see, I really don't read these stories before I go online live. Lenar, see, I gotta stop. I gotta say, all these other YouTubers are just like, oh, print and developer, and they read a little sentence and then they say it like it's coming out of their brain. Oh gosh, it's like painful to watch. The guys that wear makeup, it's like, makeup's for girls. And they're too freaked out. They care more about what they look like and what people are gonna think about them. Obviously, I don't care. I go on live with Quanto here. I just want to see you crush it. And that's really all that matters. And if you find success through some words of wisdom based on a guy that's been in the real estate market for, oh gosh, well, it was 2001. So you guys do the math. That's hard math. 23 years. And, was a real estate agent, owned a brokerage. I was a partner in a brokerage, a three-way partnership on a real estate brokerage, and owned a property management company. I've sort of been around the block, but you got all these people that are on YouTube telling people that there's never a bad time to buy. I agree with that. The problem is you have to look at the audience that you're talking to. And if you're talking to first-time home buyers or people that have never owned a rental or never been through a real estate cycle, it's not good. That's not what you want to tell people because they can't. I'll give you an example. I'm looking at buying a place right now of 20,000 under value or 20% under value on today's terms. These are highly inflated things. A couple years ago, I was going to buy a place because the write-offs would bring me back more cash in my pocket than an entire 3 years of mortgage payments on that property. Because I'm buying it with the idea I'm going to make money multiple different ways. But you can't tell that to people that are immature when it comes to their understanding and knowledge of real estate markets. They don't think like that. As a matter of fact, most CPAs don't think like me. I do know a handful of CPAs personally, and they will attest to this. Because even a CPA, they don't even own they don't know a lot about business. Yeah, sure, they may be in business for themselves, but that's it. They don't own a real estate business. They don't own a handyman business, a construction company, a farm. They aren't constantly looking for different avenues to save money in tax. And that's one way that you can separate an investor from a speculator, is an investor is looking at multiple different ways to bring value into his or her bank account. All right. So what here we're talking about, we're going back to Lenar. They're zeroing in on people with very low real estate IQ. Okay. That's what I do not want to see. That's why I did that course for a full year at like $200, because I wanted people that didn't have confidence in themselves to buy it, get the confidence. There was nothing like that on the internet. A class that teaches you what to say, what to ask, and how to act around your real estate agent, your loan broker, so you aren't, taken advantage of. And that's what Lenar's doing. They're like, the easy people to sell our homes to are the people that don't know everything's coming down. All right. So here it says the new 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage premier homes have 3 standardized plans to choose from, ranging from 1,250 to 1,400 square feet. We're talking tiny, although I can't really talk. I think my house, one of my houses that I've lived in just recently is like 1,300 and something square feet. I don't mind small houses. So actually, it's just more to clean. And Mrs. Ninja can clean. So let's just keep the houses small, okay? So these are also, the prices are starting in the low 300s. The area that I was driving by with my wife yesterday, and we're driving by in these little tuna cans of houses. They were really small. They were probably like 1,000 square foot with a 1-car garage. And the 1 car, it would have fit like a Volkswagen, the Bug. And she goes, well, I haven't seen these on the map. I'm like, they're not even advertising them. They're like in the mid 3s. And she goes, what? No way. And I'm like, look at the size. They're a tuna can. So those are homes that you actually don't want to buy starting out. I know it sounds crazy because people are like, you just got to get in, you got to get in. That's actually not true, because now during a downturn, if you've got to sell, you're selling a tuna can compared to other homes that are falling that are bigger. That's not a good thing. Now, if you wanted them for rentals and you're looking at the cash on cash and all of that kind of stuff, okay, that could be a strategic plan if they're being held as rentals. But when you're going to sell them, you're either going to sell them to somebody that's on the bottom end of the spectrum when it came to preparing or has the ability, the cash ready to buy a home, or you're going to sell it to an investor, but you're going to have less options, okay? So I would highly suggest, sometimes, just sometimes, you can get an extra bedroom and an extra bathroom or an extra half bath for a mere $35,000 more. And the ROI increases significantly when you're renting. Sorry, I'm going into investor mindset, but that's just how I think. Most people don't think like that. That's why they think everything's going to be awesome in the housing market when it's actually not. Now it says here, last year, and this is a quote from Alan Jones, the Phoenix division president of Lenar. Last year, we set out to find a solution and made an appeal to our trade partners. That's the video I leaked. They didn't like that. To join us in providing more housing options for Arizonians. So that's the video I put out. Ever since then, the views have been a little low. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the reason, but let's just say that's, and it's not the views. It's actually, I'm not going to get into it. It doesn't matter. According to the Home Builders Association of Central Arizona, housing starts have seen a significant downward trend over the past year. Weird. The association reported that 7,700 permits were issued in the second half of 2022, down from 16,000 permits issued in the first half. Let me read that again, because people would gloss over this. It's a big deal. The association reported that 7,700 permits were issued in the second half of 2022, compared to the first 6 months of 2022, when 16,000 permits were issued. You saw in 1/2 of a year. You know, when I tell you, when things happen, they happen like that. It's like, you know, it's like slowly, and suddenly, right? That's a massive change. But here's the other thing that people don't talk about, because this is where like the clickbaiters, and trust me, I've been guilty of it myself, would be jumping all over it. They're like, look, it's crashing. There's no homes being built. No, you're full of crap. There was 16,000 permits pulled in the first 6 months, and there were 7,700 pulled in the second year, which means if you add them up, that's how many permits were pulled in the entire year. It's like all these people that are trying to impress you on X, on YouTube and Facebook, saying, we have a housing shortage. There's not enough homes. Look at how many homes they built in 2008. And now look at it went down, and it's okay. First off, when it went down, still building homes. And then now it's going back up, still building homes. And all of those homes are still there. As a matter of fact, there is a video, I think it just went live, about this exact topic on a channel on YouTube. Please go check it out. It's the latest video that came out. It's about housing, and there's charts and all this fancy editing. It's on This Will Make You Rich. It's a new channel. Go check it out. It will describe that even better. Now it says here, when Lenar came to younger brothers seeking a solution. Oh, let me step back. At the time, when we're talking about the housing permits, at that time, Lenar approached us with an appeal to partner in order to provide more affordable housing. We were certainly feeling the pinch of a declining new home market, said Dave Sherwood. He's the chief operating officer of Younger Brothers Companies. We were doing what we could to keep our workforce busy, but market conditions had forced us to consider other options, such as a 4-day work week for some divisions. When Lenar came to Younger Brothers seeking a solution, they treated them as partners in solving a problem. Lenar's strategy for Premier Homes was different than others and included an opportunity for us to provide input. Their plan provided a pathway for us to implement a simplified and standardized approach to build and provide our workers with an even workflow of work. Their companies are in such trouble right now, they are afraid, and this is something I actually teach on the side hustle course for contractors or any business owners when we come into a downturn in the economy, of how dangerous it is to keep your employees busy. You have to have a go, no-go checklist. And there are certain points where you have to lay people off or cut their work week back. Because if you don't, your company's gonna go under. When we're talking to small and medium enterprises, your balance sheet is heavily weighted by your payroll. And the problem with a lot of companies, and especially Lenar is no different, if they lay people off at the wrong time and then they have a surge of business, they can't fulfill that business. And nothing is worse to a business owner than someone that has orders and cannot fulfill them. So you see, they are grasping at straws right now. And I think it's a really big deal. Why? Because it's a big deal because we know the trend, all right? We know that even if rates come down 25% rate cuts, so we're down, 75 basis points, a mortgage is still gonna be in the low 6s. That is going to still, if you look at what happened with home sales last time they were in the 6s, which were the low 6s, which were around August, September, we had dismal numbers coming out then too. So nothing's gonna change. You're still gonna have some fools rush in. Like I'm gonna probably go buy a house if I could pick one up for 20-25% under value right now in today's terms, all right? Because that values are always changing, but I'd be doing it for a very specific reason, and I'd be putting 10% cash on cash in my pocket immediately before any depreciation or write-offs dealing with that property and business entities. I don't want to get too, in depth about it right now, but my point being is that even in bad markets, there's times to buy, in good markets, there's time to buy, but that's not where the majority of Americans are at. This is where they're at. This is Lenar's problem. They're trying to sell to people just to buy a home for themselves, and it's not penciling out. Rent is cheaper. Rent is cheaper right here where I live in a lot of instances. So I hope you got something out of this. I thank you so much for watching. Keep rocking it. And have a great day. The Real Estate Ninja is out.